One of the most painful parts of parenting is when your child gets angry with you and says, "I hate you." It really, really hurts. And often we don't know how to respond to it. But it's a very common thing for kids to say when they are frustrated. So today I'm going to tell you about why our kids say that. It's really not as personal as it feels like it is, and some ways that we can respond without pouring gasoline on the fire, but also with setting some reasonable expectations about how we should be talked to. I hope you find this to be helpful. So let's talk about why kids say "I hate you" when they get really angry, because it really does sting and hurt if and when your child says something like that to you. And it can hurt if they say it to you when they're 7, and it can hurt when they say that to you when they are 17. And there is a function behind this behavior, which is to communicate to you that they are very, very, very angry. And there's almost a threat, like "You have lost my love. I am so angry with you that you did not let me do this thing, that you have lost my love." And usually kids pull this one out when you have set some kind of consequence they don't like, or you're enforcing something they don't want to do. You can't have the second ice cream cone. I hate you. You can't spend the night at your boyfriend's house. I hate you. I'm taking away your phone. I hate you, right? I am so angry with you that I am threatening you with the loss of our relationship. So when nothing else works, this is kind of the worst thing they could ever say to us. And it feels scary because we want a relationship with our kids. So it feels scary and it feels very personal. The other reason why kids use this kind of wording is that they're also curious about the strength of your relationship. So this kind of falls into the category of, will you still love me if? Has your child asked you questions like that before? Would you still love me if I went to jail? Would you still love me if I didn't listen to you? Would you still love me if I didn't like you? Right? All of those questions that are sort of asking, how secure is our relationship? Do you really love me unconditionally? So when your child says, "I hate you," they're also sort of asking, do you still love me? Will you still be there for me even if I reject you? And the real answer to that question should be yes from us. And that's what they're trying to test in the relationship. And sometimes they know it's going to be a yes, but sometimes if things have been very rocky for a long time, they are like trying to test us to that degree. So when we get hit with the "I hate you," there are several kinds of responses parents tend to have when that happens. One of them is a deeply hurt response. We start crying. We're really sad. We think maybe we failed our child. Sometimes we have a really defensive response. "Well, if you hate me, then I don't like you either." Or, "If you hate me so much, then I'm not going to take you on your play date tomorrow." Or, "Okay, go ahead and hate me and see who washes your clothes from now on." Like, we just tend to get like, "Well, you've insulted me." And then we kind of like act childish back at them. Like, "Well, then we'll just see how this goes since you're so ungrateful." And that solution might feel satisfying in the moment, but it doesn't really teach anything. And in fact, it just makes the rupture stronger. But it's an understandable option, especially if you're in the midst of a fight and you're feeling that your child is being really unappreciative and ungrateful to you. And it's hard, again, if we're not remembering it's not really personal. They're just trying to communicate their anger. It feels very personal. So sometimes we have that defensive, almost rejecting response when kids say that to us. Some parents will say, "Well, I still love you." And that could actually sometimes be a really helpful response because you're kind of getting to the core of the issue. And also, saying "I hate you" is not a good way of communicating and is not incredibly respectful. So I think that there is the kind of response you can have that keeps you from reacting in a rejecting way, allows you to express that you understand your child and you love them without saying that this is how they should be allowed to speak to you. So when I think about a child saying something like that, the first thing you want to do is you want to reflect that they're angry. It's obvious, but that's what this is about. It's not about that they actually hate you. It's about that they are angry. You're really angry with me that I wouldn't let you have a second ice cream cone. You're really angry with me that I won't let you go to your boyfriend's house. You're really angry with me that I'm taking away your phone. You just lay it out. This is what the problem is. You're really angry with me. And I can understand that you are. I will always love you. And it's important that you talk to me respectfully. So you see how that sort of balances everything. You're really angry with me. And basically you're like, I get it. I would be angry in your situation. I would be angry with me too if I told you you couldn't do something you wanted to do. You're really angry with me that you couldn't have a second ice cream cone. That makes sense. I will always love you. And it's really important that you use respectful words for me. If you're angry with me, you can just say, I am angry, and that will be okay. So the third step is you can actually give them a script for what they could potentially say. And then, by the way, you have to be okay if your child walks up to you and says, I'm really angry with you, and be like, yeah, great way of communicating your feelings, because that's not a personal attack. I'm angry with you is not disrespectful. I hate you is actually disrespectful, or you're a bad mom is disrespectful. But I feel this way about you is a healthy way of communicating, even though we might not like to hear it. So let me reiterate. You're angry with me. I love you. It's okay to be angry, but you have to talk to me respectfully. You can say, I'm angry with you. So you're giving that level of information. And then if they just keep going on with that, no, I really do hate you. I never want to talk to you again. You're really angry. I'm going to go ahead and leave the room now. So you don't have to stand there and let it continue. So you don't have to let yourself stand there and have those kinds of words directed at you. You can leave the situation. You can send them somewhere else. Like, go ahead and take a walk, because this is just going to get worse. We can talk about it later. But you don't have to respond with a personal reaction to the I hate you comment. Do you see the difference? It's basically thinking when you say I hate you, you're saying you're mad at me in a disrespectful way. And if you can keep it at that level, if you can hear those words in that way, you will be able to stop yourself from reacting in a really negative way, in an unhelpful way, or in a way that doesn't ultimately improve your relationship at the end. And you might be surprised. You might have your child come back and say, you're right, I don't hate you. I was just really mad. And you're like, yeah, I know. You were really mad. I was mad at you too. We were both mad at each other and we still love each other. That's maybe an easier conversation to have with a younger kid, though a teenager might come up to you later and say, I'm really sorry, I don't hate you. And you're like, yeah, I know. Like, we don't hate each other. Now, if your child's saying this to you a lot, if you really are in a state of a lot of fighting, a lot of animosity, maybe you're going through some sort of difficult custody situation, or just things have always been tense and you and your child love each other, but your communication has always been really off, or you're seeing a lot of challenging behaviors, and this is just one of the many of those challenging behaviors, we can help you at Thriving Child Center. All you have to do is book a matching call with our client concierge. They'll talk to you. They'll help you find the right fit therapist and the right treatment so that things can get better in your family. I know it's a very uncomfortable place to be, to have your child saying that they don't want you around. But deep down, what kids want is to be loved and accepted by their parents. And when kids say that to you, in the moment, they're so angry they might believe it, but deep down, that's not how they actually feel. And they're wanting to see how they can grow a better relationship with you in the vast majority of cases. I hope you're having an okay week. I hope no child has said anything mean to you ever. And I look forward to talking to you next time.